does somebody really know how much retirement income that they'll actually need and how much money they need to have saved to generate that income?
Well, I mean, that's a very difficult question, because none of us really know, like what could go wrong? I mean, markets can crash, they can stay down, inflation could go up to 20, 30%. I mean, we don't know, but what you want to do is have at least enough guaranteed income to cover your basic living expenses, then plan for some inflation factor. So I tell people, you just don't want to have income for life. You want to have increasing income for life. And I've done that by having 13 annuities. They kick in at different times. Most of them kick in whenever I want them to. I've got the life insurance ready to go. If I would need any more income, that's going to come tax free. So I don't know if you ever really know for sure, but you can get pretty accurate by, and again, working with a financial professional who can put your numbers in a computer and say, if this happens, here's what's going to happen to your money. If that happens, here's what's going to, you got to play different scenarios to find out, what if inflation is high? What if taxes go up? What if the market crashes, stays down for 15 or 20 years? You need to be able to weather most of those situations. Now, if the whole government falls apart and the dollar goes to zero, I mean, then it's guns, bullets, toilet paper, and water. That's going to be more important than your money. So, you just got to plan for what are the potential things that could happen, likely happen, and then try to mitigate those problems.
Yeah, and it's using the right tools to do just that. If my wife goes and says, honey, it's Saturday, I've got to do a picture I want you to hang in the hallway. Okay, cool. I'll go down to the toolbox and I look at my tools, and I've got all kind of tools in the toolbox. But for that particular job, I'm going to grab a screw gun, a wall anchor, a level, and a tape measure. Because God forbid if I hang that picture and it's not level, right? But when that moment I go, I bypass the hammer, I bypass the screwdrivers and the ratchet set and the wrenches and the crescent wrenches and all the Allen wrenches and all the other tools in there. But in that moment, it doesn't make those bad tools. It just makes them not the right tool for that job at that moment. And I think that people have a lot of misconceptions about picking different investment options for their money in retirement planning purposes for income. And, it really does come down to the tool. Like, match the tool to what your need is. Don't try to do like a one size fits all. You mentioned the guy, KF earlier, who hates annuities. Bring me $500,000 and put it in my portfolio and you'll live happily ever after. I just, maybe you might, but you're not guaranteed to. And most of the clients we serve, they want to be guaranteed that. They want to know without a doubt, hey, I worked the last 30 or 40 years and I want to live the retirement that I deserve. And if I can have that guaranteed to me for life, then that makes a lot more sense. You agree with that?
Absolutely. I mean, the tools, if people would just cover their basic living expenses with guaranteed income, then do something with investments to help protect against inflation, have a plan for long-term care, use life insurance, maximize your Social Security benefits. These are just simple, and they're based in math and science. I mean, I'm not making this stuff up. There's three things I can tell you that an annuity will do for you. I will promise you three things. Number one, if you add an annuity to your retirement portfolio, it will improve portfolio performance. BlackRock says it, Barclays says it, the Wall Street Journal says it, the PhD say it. It will improve portfolio performance. Number two, you're likely to be happier. The Wall Street Journal says the secret to a happier retirement is friends, neighbors, and a fixed annuity. Time Magazine said lifetime income stream key to retirement happiness. So your portfolio will do better. You're going to be happier. And now the research shows you're likely to live longer. There's an attorney, Patrick Tricker. He wrote an article and he said, in the United States, a 65-year-old male who purchases a life income annuity can expect to live 20% longer than a 65-year-old male who does not. Freakonomics did a Freakonomics podcast on this University of Chicago study. That University of Chicago studied people who bought income annuities and people who didn't. And the people who owned income annuities lived longer than the people that didn't. And it's pretty simple. People who have guaranteed income have less stress. They worry less. And because they're being paid to live, guess what? Many of them choose to live differently. They watch what they eat. They exercise. They call the doctor when not feeling well. So who could be against something that improves your portfolio performance, allows you to be happier, and allows you to live longer? I just don't understand it. The people who are against annuities are uneducated is what it is. They haven't done the research. I've studied this for 30 years. All right. I'll show them all the research.
Subscribe to Redefine Retirement on YouTube, Spotify, or wherever you listen to podcasts.